Hey, good Wednesday morning here. I got a great topic here today. PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder. This is a topic that this is a diagnosis that I think a lot more people have than been led to believe. Once we go through these symptoms, you may pick up on some of these things you could possibly have that's affecting you mentally. But it's intrusive memories. So, re experiencing a traumatic event through flashbacks, nightmares, or intrusive thoughts. Avoidance. Avoiding reminders of the trauma, such as people, places, or activities. Avoiding thoughts or feelings related to the trauma. Now, before I go further, I want to go on to say about PTSD. There's a big myth about it. A lot of people think that, and I'm talking about veterans. A lot of veterans think that the only way they uh, have PTSD, someone has PTSD, is if they were a combat veteran, but that's not true. There's other events that have triggers of traumatic situations that people went through. Veterans have been traumatized by. So it's not always combat veterans. So that's just a myth. So I just wanted to put that out there. Um, Negative changes in cognition and mood. Negative beliefs about oneself, others, or the world. It's something that you might have noticed, if not yourself, maybe somebody else close to you. Distorted perceptions of reality, feelings of detachment or estrangement, loss of interest in activities previously enjoyed. As an example, let's just say you were just an avid golfer, and that was just that's what your release. But then you start going through these symptoms, and you kind of find yourself not doing those things that you used to love. That's what they're talking about: loss of interest in activities and different types of activities that people do. Changes in arousal and reactivity, irritability or outbursts of anger, difficulty concentrating or making decisions. That's a big one there. Um, that's real big. Concentrating and making decisions because mentally you're not always there, and when you feeling kind of down like that, it's hard to concentrate on what task you're trying to complete. Um, Hypervigilance, startle response, and sleep disturbances. PTSD could definitely mess up your sleep. If you've been uh, up all night, or the slightest little noise trigger you. So yeah, you can definitely have a lot of sleep disturbances. Um, some additional symptoms: feeling on edge or tense, feeling unsafe or threatened, difficulty controlling thoughts or emotions, avoidance of social situations. I think there's a lot of veterans that probably that, because I know several people with PTSD, and I definitely know that the avoidance of social situations, they don't want to be involved anymore. Um, that type of thing. So yeah, I know quite a few veterans with PTSD. Changes in appetite or sleep patterns. Um, Self isolation. That's another big one because once you mentally just not there, you kind of want to tend to be by yourself, and that's just the way it is. Reckless or destructive behavior, suicidal thoughts or ideation. That is like probably the number one. In my That's just my view. I'm not a doctor, but having those suicidal thoughts, you know, and a lot of people, there's a lot of veterans that really don't want to admit to suicidal thoughts. Okay, like they're thinking they might get put into a mental home or something like that, but that's not the case. Um, it's okay to stress about having suicidal thoughts, but here's the problem: if you said you got a plan to take out that action, to follow through with how you feeling, then that's where the problem comes in at. But if it's just thoughts and stuff and you express it, that's okay. But don't have no plan to carry it out, and then you're in trouble. Okay. It's important to note that not all individuals with PTSD will experience all 20 symptoms. The severity and combination of symptoms can vary widely. So, yeah, just because this veteran feels this way and this one feels that way, it doesn't mean that either one is worse off than the other, because everybody's affected differently. So, uh, look into that. If you know anyone that's any of those type of behaviors, talk with them. Try to guide them in the right direction. Or if it's you, don't feel ashamed to seek help from a physician, from a psychiatrist or a psychologist. Don't feel ashamed of that. Go and seek help so that you can get better. So this is a really big topic, and hey, if you see any value in this, share it to some of your old military friends, your loved ones, and they may not even be veterans. They can. You don't have to be a veteran to have PTSD. So, but these are just some of the symptoms. If you see it in someone, hey, speak up and say something. Don't just say you got PTSD. Just see where they are mentally, and you might be able to guide them in a better direction. So, hey, that's all I got for you guys today. Hey, you see a veteran, you help a veteran. I'm out.